Hey, welcome to Southside Korero. My name is Vincent Tyrion Vitalina. I'm here to basically introduce the next episode of our amazing podcast with myself and Jah. Jah makes her appearance today, and it's such an awesome scene to see her go through her first episode. So please do encourage her, as well as give her a thumbs up and love in the comments down below for our YouTube channel to keep her going and to let her know that she's doing an amazing job. This episode is amazing. We had talks with John Pulu, an amazing individual who has got a heart of gold and a golden voice for not only himself but for his community that he serves when he's on his radio station at 531 PI, as well as Tagata Pasifika. So me and Jah, we have a beautiful discussion with John, and this episode just pretty much just speaks to itself. It's one of the fun episodes that I've had so far. All of them were fun, but this was even funner. So please do enjoy the episode. This is Vincent and Jah, Southside Korero. Kia ora. Today we got an amazing guest, superstar of the Pacific Island and the true star of the Southern Seas, John Pulu.
Kia ora tātou, ni sampulupina ka pia mālo, lelei ho e ki pia mui kāinga. A warm greetings to you both from my home here in Otahuhu. Let's go!
Let's go!
I'm so honoured and very mawhana to be part of this podcast. So nice to meet you, Jah, as well as Vincent.
Nice to meet you too, John. And I must say, when I first met you, when we had our first talks, I was very daunting task because your voice is amazing, by the way.
Oh, easily. It's just the microphone that I use. It's for Hollywood cinema voiceovers.
Oh, stop it.
There goes my secret. I'm not going to have a job now.
Don't worry. The Pacific Island people need you. Otherwise, we won't understand the Palangi things. So
yes,
that's why. So, going into our conversation, could you give us a brief introduction to yourself so our viewers can understand who is John, pretty much?
Set Vinaka. So I'm a mixed martial arts. Oh, sorry.
MMA. Oh,
I'm a heavyweight boxer, but in my real role, I'm a broadcaster. So I'm of Tongan and Fijian descent. My family were mostly based in the Kingdom of Tonga, the Friendly Islands, and we migrated to Aotearoa in the late 90s because my father came to build a Wesleyan church, or the Methodist church, here in Aotearoa at Favona in Mangere. So it was an opportunity for us to come over and, like a similar story, for our kāinga or our ainga that are watching. We all came here looking for more opportunities and a better future. So that's why we came here and ended up living in Mangere for a little bit, and then we moved over to the promised land, Otahuhu, Little Tonga, as they say. So we've eventually settled here, and this is now my home now. And I must say, I'm very, very honoured to be part of this amazing community of Pasifika people. We've got a beautiful history in this country, and we've made it our home, and we are definitely contributing, to the environment and the makeup of what New Zealand is today, as well as going forward as well. So, I work on Tagata Pasifika on TV1 every Saturday on TV1, 9:30 a.m., as well as our radio 531 PI Tongan program, PM in Tonga, which is on every Wednesday afternoon. And it's an honour to serve our community using this wonderful platform, radio and television. So, awesome to take time off to come and hang out with you guys. So thank you so much. I'm going now. See you later.
Yeah. So far.
So far.
Again, thank you so much for accepting this conversation. And again, I just want to express thank you for serving the community and be able to be the voice out there, especially on a national wide broadcast, especially as Tagata Pasifika. I was going to go through that. How does it feel to be a part of that team who's been been on the air for more than 10 plus years, who's been the voice of the Pasifika. So, yeah.
So Tagata Pasifika has been around for over 30 years, so it's been around longer than I've been alive, so I'm only 18 years old, but we're moving right along. But it's awesome to be part of this, community program that we're able to keep our community informed as well as entertained in some parts, but also during this time that we're in, it's vital that we give out information that will help our community. It's awesome that a program like this is helping with preserving our language. We always promote our languages, especially those that are endangered, like some of our smaller communities. So it's great to be part of that, but also celebrate being Pacific, because we have our a wonderful tool here that we're able to tell our own stories. And that takes me back to why I became a broadcaster, was that other people were telling us stories, and a lot of it made me upset. Some shows were, I guess, making our people look bad, and this just generated a lot of negativity about our people. And I'm a Southsider myself, and growing up over here in the South Side, you were always, I guess people looked at you funny and treated you differently, because that was the window that was available for people to see us, was not always the best. So I wanted to be part of something positive, but also meaningful as well in terms of telling our stories and by our own people. So that's how my journey came about, and it's great to be part of this legacy Tagata Pasifika that's been serving our community on television, and it's great to see other programs as well. We have various age viewers or audiences, but also now we can go overseas with internet. And online. Look at me saying internet like it was something that was. I know what's the internet. So now that we can broadcast, we have our Pasifika diaspora overseas. So a lot of our viewers that are tuning in, we find interesting, people in America and Asia and Europe. So it's so awesome that, people go overseas, for other various opportunities for education, work, and et cetera, et cetera. But they still want to know what's happening back home. And I believe we are helping with that and relaying the information. So sorry about my really long answer, but...
oh, no. That's perfect.
If you're still awake.
I'm still awake. Sorry. Hang on. No, I'm awake. But I think it's the importance to have that lengthy answer. And with interviews, you notice that it's always cut and it's always edited. That's right. I always believe to have the raw answer in it, because it has the meaning behind it. You lose a lot of that messaging behind things. And this is the reason why I did this podcast, is that a lot of it's not like chopped out and it's not lengthened and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's
not edited, heavily edited, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to lose that meaning behind it. And
no, absolutely. And with sometimes, with the medium that we have, sometimes we have to do stories that only have to be about 2 or 3 minutes long. So you guys have the luxury of just leaving it raw, so people can listen to every angle. So what we do is we have to, obviously we're a half-hour TV show, so we have to make sure that all our stories, whether it's like 8 or 5 stories, that we all have to make sure that it all fits. But yeah, you guys are on a head start now that the podcast just allows people just to listen to everything, and there's no edited bits.
It's raw and unrestricted, pretty much.
That's right.
And that's how I believe with most information, it needs to be unrestricted, because everyone gets the feelings behind it and
that's
the
right.
meanings. So, leading on to the next part of this, which is the community side of things, we're looking at current initiatives that are happening, and I've noticed that you were talking with mostly doctors around this field during COVID, especially. What are your current thoughts on most communities around South Auckland and the upcoming Saturday, Super Saturday?
That's right.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts around that?
Look, no one was prepared for covering something, like this, like COVID-19. And, we didn't expect it to run this long. But it's definitely dominated the headlines, and it's impacted our community. And honestly, it's been quite interesting how our community has responded to this, COVID-19 ever since it first started, and then going down to the restrictions, lockdown, and whatnot. So, I believe what we're doing is we're talking to the experts, the people that actually studied medicine, and those who have researched areas of this type of magnitude. So, it's important for us to leave it for the people to make up their own opinions, but we obviously want to have good credibility, and so we ask our Pacific doctors who have been doing the work around this area. So unfortunately, we are up against social media, where everyone can become a doctor overnight. Some people are self-appointed, but I absolutely respect our community's concerns, especially around getting the vaccine, because obviously it's still new and things like that. But I encourage everyone to do your own homework, do your own research, and talk to the people that you trust. Because sometimes it's better to ask or look around other places, not just the one source. Because what's happening is that there's a lot of influences on social media, and
Absolutely,
I guess
yes.
some of them can bend or abuse their position of influencing the masses and giving out the wrong information. And the sad thing is, I've interviewed doctors who have cried because they've lost their own colleagues. They've seen people pass away because of this COVID-19 pandemic. So that really is, quite a sad thing to deal with. And that. When you think of the front line, they're in the front line, but also we come in contact with them as well. And, I guess we take on their sadness as well when we interview them. So that's another thing about being a journo as well. You're not just there as a reporter or doing your job, but also you're human, and you also listen, and, you can relate or understand what they're going through. So it's just a lot of people may think, being in broadcasting is about being on camera and being on social media and being well known and things like that. But a lot of time as well, we're still human as well. It's just the fact that we've got a camera right in front of us, or a microphone that we get to use for work. But it is a massive opportunity to do something like this. But my hat goes out. I take my hat off. To our frontline workers, our doctors, and my prayers are with those people that are going through, this illness or this virus that they're experiencing at the moment.
What is the best reason you have heard to get the vaccine?
Well, it's been interesting. Thank you, Jah, because I've been filming at some of those vaccination sites, and a lot of our Pacific community, they still go home, for various reasons. And that's the criteria now from overseas that, places like Niue, the Cook Islands, and the wider Pacific, they're asking, if you want to come home, we don't want you to come with the COVID, illness. You have to be vaccinated. So it's just another measure that they're putting in place. So, that's another thing. I guess it's urging our people to, get vaccinated. We also want to, go out of lockdown. So that's a great reason to have the vaccine as well, but also to just have a layer of protection against this virus that's still spreading. In the last few days, the numbers have been going up and down. So, there is still concern now that people are kind of, there is a minor freedom that we have in level 3. So, I guess that's my view. If you want to be out of lockdown and want to be protected from COVID-19, and also if you want to travel and see your loved ones in the islands, please get vaccinated. I also want to go back home to Hawaii. No, I'm kidding. I'm not Hawaiian. In my dreams. But
Yeah, I mean, it's important for those to be not only informed, but just to make their own decisions and their own research.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I've got friends and family who are still on the fence about it as well. So I do my best. I leave it with them. I don't want to go there and go, hey, you should go and get vaccinated. I do my best to keep them informed as well, and it's totally up to them as well.
Is it okay for us to ask you if you are vaccinated?
Yes, absolutely. I'm double vaxxed. Look at me. What is this? What is this?
Wakanda forever.
It really is, yeah. I'm double vaxxed. Yeah, so I got my my first jab at the Otara MIT site, which was set up for Pasifika people. So my whole household, my partner, everyone were all being vaccinated. I had to do it because I still work. I know it doesn't sound amazing, but we're regarded as essential workers. So we're still out and about recording interviews and whatnot. So I had to do it because for myself, I didn't want to get sick, or I didn't want to bring it over and get my mother sick, who is an elderly as well. So that was just my reasoning for doing it as well. So I also do the work around the COVID Pacific messages. So it'll be funny if I was promoting it and not doing it myself. So you all go and get vaccinated. I'm just going to go on holiday. Yeah, so it was important for me to get vaccinated. And my second jab was at the Mount Wellington. Oh, goodness me, I've forgotten, but it's just down the road. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, did you want to lead up?
Oh, was it scary getting a shot?
No, I mean, everyone is scared of needles. You know, I'm scared of needles. You know, but I guess it was just leading up to it. I've done my own little research as well in terms of you know what's part of the process as well. But I take my hat off again to all our people at all these vaccination stations or clinics. Everyone knows their you know position, and they're very welcoming when you come in. So it's been funny as well. You know, in the last week or so, there's been some Pacific driven vaccination events, and I love it because I went to cover the first Tongan one, which was MMT, Malu'i Ma'atonga. They're using the whole Mate Ma'atonga acronym. But it was awesome that they had the Tongan flag, they had Tongan music playing. And so as soon as you walked in, everyone was dancing and cheering you on. So you felt like you were doing something really incredible for the nation as you drove in or arrived at these places. So that made me relax. You know, I mean, that I'm sorry saying for others, but you know, I was welcomed really warmly, and that made me relax when I arrived at my vaccination appointment. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna take that message that you brought,
Yes.
and tell and throw it to nurses and volunteers, because I did an interview on the third episode of this podcast with Micah Cecily, who volunteered as a student nurse in the vaccine spots. You know, her and a fellow MIT students went out there to vaccine spots and basically helped out the drive. MIT itself as well did the drive out in the Vodafone Event Center for vaccines and whatnot. That was huge.
That was awesome. And it's awesome that it's our people that are there welcoming our own people. I guess when it comes to health, we all get a little bit whakama. We might be a bit scared when we get these things done, but when it's our own people and they're speaking our own language, goodness me, jab me as many times as you like.
Like a fifth, yeah.
I'm just worried that the next jab might not be the vaccine; it might be a. As our fellow friend of the podcast, David Tour says, just let's get it on, pretty much. You don't want to muck around with David. No.
Oh no! When I did the interview, I was straight faced and I was like, I'm gonna ask these questions. So
you're my hero, Vincent. You're the man. You're the man.
No, you're the man. Honestly, coming back to the whole community run, just thinking out loud in terms of of vaccines. How was it when after getting the vaccination? Did you get the side effects that normally people had got?
Well, because I go to the gym a lot, not to work out, but just to get the free Wi-Fi. My arms here were just already immune to. No, I'm joking. Sorry for being a clown.
You're beautiful.
But what had happened was I received the first jab. Nothing happened, and then the second one, when I spoke to my colleagues, some of my mates, they were really tired afterwards, and another person said, "Look, I had to get mine done in in the afternoon so I can go home and rest. But when I got my second one, which what I was really concerned about, it was fine. Nothing happened. So, they gave me some good information about getting, the jab. And then I waited for my, 15, 20 minutes. They actually made me wait for 2 hours. No, I'm kidding. I'm like, why do I have to wait for the whole night? But no, it was really nice. And then afterwards, I just came back home and rested.
Good.
So what do we say to family that are worried about getting the vaccine?
Yeah. Again, look, Jah, I just encourage everyone, go out there, do your own research, talk to your doctor, and you will know, when you see things that are not obviously correct. There's a lot of, even in my own community, with the social media posts of things that are sticking to your arm. I'm like, I wish KFC stuck to my arm so it can. But it's really sad and concerning that some people are kind of making it out like it's the worst thing. But I encourage you all, do your own research. The government and also even the Ministry of Health have a website where it's also translated. All the information is translated in all our Pacific languages. So I highly encourage you to do your own research and talk to people that you trust. It is sad that once again, as I mentioned, there is still some people there that are kind of leading our people in the wrong direction. And everyone's right, to make their mind up about what they want. But just do your own homework, research.
How can we spot fake news online?
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
I would go to the Ministry of Health rather than the Ministry of. So I would much rely on people that have, got the credentials and actual doctors and and things like that. So that's how I would, for me, because they have done the research, they have, done the work around it. So I would highly encourage people to go to that rather than all the different websites online, because there are some self-appointed doctors out there, Dr. Zeus.
Absolutely, and it's a good opportunity to bring out the Ministry of Health for those who are still on that fence, to get accurate data, because it's not just only our local and national health groups that are coming up with that data. There's also international data that's coming through.
Yeah, absolutely right, Vincent. I concur. I agree with you wholeheartedly with that statement, because absolutely, look at the positive news that's coming up from overseas with people that have been vaccinated compared to the death toll. You don't want to go down that path, but I use examples like Fiji. That there was a massive. They have 600 deaths over there because of the recent outbreak of COVID-19, and they went into lockdown in April, and they've just slowly opened up the restrictions and lifted some restrictions for people. But the proof of people getting vaccinated rather than versus those who were not vaccinated, you can tell that there is some good news when you are vaccinated.
Absolutely.
How have you managed with mental health during lockdown?
Look, I hate lockdown. I don't want to be at home. Yeah, I don't. Apart from my mother, secretly, she's the only person in Aotearoa that enjoys lockdown because our whole house is at home. She misses us when we leave. So I think my mother, as well as our elderly, kaumatuas, they really love having us at home, to have the extra company at home. But I miss being at work. It is hard, for me, doing my own thing, because I love to chat and throw ideas around with my colleagues, but also with our students who have to study at home. I feel for them, and I take my hat off to them, because this is, there's a lot of disruption to their studies. And, I do know that, even a very sensitive topic of suicide as well has also, risen as well. And I do hope we can reach out to those people that are vulnerable, that need the help and a bit of support so we can tautoko them before it gets too late. So I do realize mental health is so important right now. And I encourage everyone, sometimes it's even just nice to just shut down your phone, your social media, go for a little walk around your neighborhood. And now that we're at a good level or some good restrictions here in Tamaki Makaurau, we can go to different parts of Auckland for a picnic. But please follow the rules and stay in your own bubble. Don't mix and mingle, because that's obviously making it easier for the virus to spread. So yeah, I encourage everyone that are going through tough times. There are mental health services out there. Call your friend, and if you're watching, call your friend if you want to check in on your mates. Absolutely. And just make sure that everyone's okay. Have a quick little korero about, it doesn't have to be about work or anything related, but just something just to take your mind off, the current lockdown or restrictions that we're in at the moment.
Absolutely. So
thank you for calling me.
Hey. I have to check up on my new friend.
Miss John. You guys.
Got to keep that mindset going, of course. Just going back to Super Saturday as well as the Vaxathon. Those are two initiatives that are currently going on in terms of trying to get the word out in terms of vaccinations.
Yes.
Would you see this as the new thing to get a lot of our New Zealanders out there with vaccinations? Do you see that as a possible thing to go forward and bringing out those rollouts for people to go out to vaccinate? Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt. Absolutely. I highly encourage everyone that wants to be vaccinated, head along. There's the website for the Super Saturday event, and you can find out more details. I believe you can just go to the Unite Against COVID-19 website to find out the details. But also make use of some of our community vaccination drive-through events as well. Even this week in Otahuhu, in our little Tonga, we have our own drive vaccination event. I even see other parts of Mangere. I was at Massey Road this morning, and right beside the fruit store, there's a COVID swabbing center. There's a big board saying vaccinations this way. So I take a lot of love go out to everyone that's being part of this initiative to this is a national goal for us to get vaccinated, and we're slowly moving towards getting towards the 90%, and even our own community, I think only around 40% last time I checked are fully vaccinated. So we are still there, but we have a lot more who have received their first dose. And I encourage everyone, if you're nearby any of these vaccination drives, please go on and support our people that are there and get yourself protected as well.
Absolutely.
Have you guys been vaccinated?
I have. Oh, Jah?
Hey, you just gave me more confidence on going to get it done.
Oh, awesome. Oh, great to hear, Jah.
I'm going to get it done on Saturday.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Is that your first one, sis?
Yep.
Whoa. Look out. And Vinny, you've got both, eh?
Wakanda.
You've got the Wakanda. Jah's going to join us. Yeah. The sun goes down.
Absolutely. Yeah. So leading on to basically this whole positivity. Just that on those stories. Like, the fact of the matter is, I've had my full vaccination. I feel like I basically helped out the team of 5 million as put up by Auntie Jacinta, pretty much.
Auntie Cindy. What made you do it? What made you do it, Vincent? What encouraged you to get vaccinated?
So my one was that I have my mother and father. My father, who had sadly passed away, who during December, who wasn't COVID. Yeah, he wasn't related to COVID, but he was at the age where, it was pretty much they were at the target age of getting COVID, and I'm just sitting there going, I need to do my part now. My mother and my father are my pavers of my future. They led the way like our many people who are in South Auckland pave their children to the futures that they dreamed of.
Yeah.
So when my mother got her vaccination and she showed her her card, and I was like, son, look. I was like, okay, I'll get it for you, ma. So that's why I had to get that importance of just you gotta do it for not only for yourself but for the people around you to seek for the longevity. That's what I believe. Well, what about you, Jah? What?
Well, my dad was talking to me about my brothers, because two of my brothers, they have holes in their hearts, and they could. Oh. Yeah, so he was like, well, if you don't get it, you ain't going anywhere. You're not going to be like, he's trying to look you up, basically.
Yeah.
For my brother's sake, obviously, definitely, we're all going to do it. Because no one in my family's got it yet, like, got the vaccine. So I think we're going to do it on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good to hear. Have you been a bit worried about the vaccine? And no, good on you. And the best way to do it is go and do it with your family. Yeah, you're all there to support each other, and it's been great that we have this the drive vaccination events, because people come in their own cars, and you see the whole family there. And I remember interviewing a young Tongan girl, and I was like, "Oh, what made you do it?" She's like, "Because my mom told me to go." So it was funny, and then she giggled. But it's nice, when you do it with your family, because some people may worry and be a bit scared about doing it on their own. So why not grab a friend, or encourage someone else that's not in your bubble to do it with you as well. So can I just show off and show you my vaccination card?
No, we're showing off cards now. Okay, hold on.
I use this on the everywhere I go. I'm like, excuse me, I'm fully vaccinated. Where's my hot card? Where's my
John, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you going to be using that at the local buffet down at Samuel's? I'm just saying.
Let's go, yo.
Let's go.
You get a 1% discount. No. You get free water. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do it for you in Otahuhu.
I'm just going to say this right now. Samuel's best restaurant. I'm looking at you, Uncle
Absolutely.
Sam.
Absolutely. Samuel's is really, really good. Another good one, if I can just share with our viewers, try it out. Another amazing Vietnamese family restaurant just on the other side of Samuel's. So I love it that they're both right near each other. So do try that next time you come to Otahuhu. But thank you for eating in the best little food town.
Oh, it is awesome. So to wrap things up, I'm gonna ask you two more awesome final questions.
No problem.
I always like to wrap up with these interviews with these two questions.
Yes.
One of them being, I know you've been throwing advice and words of wonders throughout the interview. What are your three golden advice that you would give to those who are in need of it in terms of being in lockdown 4, or just what would your golden words be to those who are listening?
Yeah. Goodness me, that's a tough one to sum everything up with three golden points here to give to our people. I guess looking out for one another is so important right now. Everyone has their own struggles and their own challenges and their own bubble. So I guess we still go through that village mentality of just checking in on each other. Mm-hmm. It's so important to have offer and aroha and love inside us when we go through these tough times, because we might not know, but our next door neighbor might be going through some difficult times. Some of our people have got some challenges financially as well. Many of our workers have lost their jobs, or some hours have been reduced. Just making sure you check in on other people as well. What's the other thing as well is goodness me, it's so hard to trim it down into into 3 points. But look, I encourage you all, to have respect for not just your closer relatives as well. Having that whakaapa. It's a golden rule in our Pacific and our Polynesian way that we respect others as well. If especially when it comes to the very difficult situation of vaccinated or not vaccinated. Look, we do want everyone, and we highly encourage everyone to get the vaccine. But if some people don't want to get it, we respect them. But I guess don't mingle with them because you want to be protected and make sure that your family is safe as well. And I think those are some of the key points that I want to leave with people. But if there are people that are thinking of even considering going into broadcasting or media, absolutely, we need more Pacific people to come into this space and continue on. I'm looking at you, Vincent and Jah, obviously, because you're the only two in this chat. Is there anyone else? But it makes me feel a lot more confident going forward that we have awesome, confident, beautiful, intelligent young people like yourselves that are doing something like this. It does take a lot to get yourself ready to do an interview like this. So I do get nervous. Don't worry. I look back at the first time I did my first interview on Tagata Pasifika, and I was sweating. I was so nervous because I just had so many things in my head that I had to remember to do. And then on that first shoot, I had to do a piece to camera. We have to relay information, just you to the camera. So I'm practicing my lines and making sure that everything's done. But with practice and the more you do it, it'll just become natural. And and the why is so important as well. A lot of people, they think broadcasting is just being famous and things like that. It's just the fact that we have a camera and a microphone in front of us all the time. But why I do it is that I want to leave a legacy. I want to be part of something that's positive, telling our stories and helping preserve our language and culture using this medium. Because one day I won't be here, but at least I was helping with telling stories and things like that. Because we look back at the past of our Pacific, stories and whatnot. It was passed down from, just telling of oratory, and I guess some of them were told in art and music. But now we have this awesome space where we can tell stories on television as well as radio and other mediums as well. So some words of encouragement there for our people if they want to, go into our industry. And I've totally just avoided going into the 3 points there. What am I doing? Who am I? But I hope that's helpful for you, Vincent. And
absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for joining our podcast. Where can people follow you?
With the restrictions, they can follow me online. But sometimes people just follow me around. But I encourage everyone to follow me on social media. I'm just John Pulu on Twitter as well as Instagram. I'm not on TikTok, but you will see me on TikTok on our Tagata Pasifika page and other platforms. But I highly encourage you check out our Tagata Pasifika platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as our PMN or Radio 531 page, where you'll find other details as well on what's happening in our community. But for now, me takimata vinaka vakalevu, mahalo nui, mahalo aupito, and kia ora. Back to you guys. Mahalo aupito.
Once again, thank you, John, for being a humble guest. And that is us, Southside Korero. Kia ora.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda.
God bless. Off